Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a police chase led to a frantic Monday morning on the campus of Mingo Central High School in West Virginia.
And we go to Breathitt County, where there is a reward offered to anyone with more information about who threw full pop cans at a semi-truck last week, putting the driver in a hospital.
Plus, in Perry County, the search for answers in a disappearance continues. We talk to rescue officials who remember the search as if it was just yesterday.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. The time is 6:30 on February 25th. I'm Madison Pergram.
And I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News This Morning on this Tuesday or Monday 2.0.
On Monday 2.0, we have some fog out there. I know it was really bad when we came in, but I think it's maybe backed off a little bit.
I hope, because I consider myself a fairly good driver. My mom even says I'm better than my sister. But it was hard to drive in it this morning, I'll tell you what.
What's the standard compared to your sister?
It's pretty low.
Well, let's go to Brandon Robinson. Brandon.
Wow. Savage.
I'm sure my dad is cringing.
Right under the bus this morning.
Just go ahead. We're just going to give it to you, Brandon.
Yeah, please. All right, let's take a look and see what's going on this morning. Live pinpoint Doppler radar as we let's take a look there. That's one of the blessings of being an only child. There's no siblings to throw under the bus. We're looking at the heaviest bands of rain moving out this morning, so that's some good news. Wet roads and fog still around, and again, most of it in the valleys and only a little bit showing up on the sensors, but anywhere that's less than 5 miles, like Wise and Middlesboro and Huntington, West Virginia, be careful out there. And again, we've been seeing on some of the cameras this morning that we've been showing that a little bit is still hanging around. Temperatures across the board in the 40s and 50s. Coffee meter on a normal day, maybe getting close to iced coffee depending on where you are. Your weather app forecast, you can download that for free in both app stores and continue to track all this weather we're going to see this week. Chances early and then mostly cloudy skies, 60 today, and we might even see a few late day peaks of sunshine. Keep your fingers crossed for that. Rest of the forecast on the way here in a little bit. Madison.
Thank you, Brandon. Well, yesterday marked 1 year since Danny Tincan Napier from Perry County disappeared during heavy flooding.
Now, officials believed he fell into the North Fork of the Kentucky River along Combs Road. Search and rescue crews never found him. WYMT's Emily Bennett talked with officials who remember the search like it was just yesterday.
1 year ago, rivers were running high after heavy flooding.
It doesn't take but very little water to take you away.
And Danny Tincan Napier disappeared.
The not knowing is the toughest part.
Believed to have fallen into this river.
As the weather allowed us to, we done an extensive search up to 45 miles of the river.
Crews spent weeks along the North Fork of the Kentucky River using every resource possible.
We had several dog teams that spent several days on land and on boats to cover that length of water.
But after exhausting every avenue, nothing.
Countless hours in search, and I was proud of the effort that we put forward. We just wish we'd had a different result.
Jerry Stacy says now, 1 year later, there's not much they can do but comfort the family.
Well, that's tough to see, and unfortunately in these situations, that's, there's no easy way to handle that.
Not being able to imagine the pain the family feels each and every day.
Our thoughts and prayers are with the Napier family today.
Wishing the search would have uncovered all the answers.
Again, that was Emily Bennett reporting. Now, Stacy did say after flooding, it is easy to slip down the bank and fall into the river.
He warns everyone to stay as far away as possible and always be aware of your surroundings. And here's another look at Napier.
He disappeared near the North Fork of the Kentucky River near the old MC Napier High School off of Combs Road 1 year ago yesterday on February 24th of 2019. Napier is described as 5 foot 10 inches and 180 pounds. Anyone who may have information on where Napier is still asked to call Kentucky State Police Post 13 in Hazard at 606-435-6069.
And the search continues for a missing woman in Scott County. Sheena Baxter disappeared more than 1 week ago. Georgetown police tell us they have looked through a car belonging to her ex-boyfriend, Joseph Hicks. He was arrested shortly after her disappearance, and police say Baxter's phone pinged a location next to the police department where Hicks's car 2012 Ford Focus was stored. They are trying to determine if Hicks had anything to do with Baxter's disappearance, and Baxter's sister, Krista Crumley, hopes signs they put up will lead to answers.
I don't know why it was in his car, if that's the case, you know.
Court documents show in 2018 a judge issued an emergency protective order and a temporary protection order for Baxter against Hicks. Right now he is in jail for falsely reporting a crime around the time Baxter went missing.
Now to the mystery of a missing Tennessee toddler. 2 people arrested this past weekend in connection with the disappearance of 15-month-old Evelyn Boswell appeared in a Tennessee courtroom yesterday. Evelyn's grandmother, Angela Boswell, was arrested in North Carolina along with William McLeod. They were in a stolen vehicle that police were looking for in connection with the child's disappearance. Family members say they have not seen Evelyn in more than 2 months, but she was just reported missing last week. Authorities say they will seek to extradite Boswell and McLeod back to Tennessee.
And in Knox County, a woman is charged with child endangerment after police say she was doing drugs with her toddler and an infant in her house. Police say they found Jessica Schaefer holding her 2-year-old while slurring her speech and hallucinating. They say they found syringes, Suboxone, and amoxicillin prescription that did not belong to her. They say she admitted to using Suboxone and meth, and the children were placed in the custody of their grandmother, and Schaefer was taken to the Knox County Detention Center.
A police chase in Mingo County left one man facing several charges. The Mingo County Sheriff's Office arrested Zachary Fowler after he brought his side-by-side to the Mingo Central High School campus Monday, ripping into the school's landscape while driving donuts as students watched. Fowler was arraigned Monday afternoon in a magistrate court where Magistrate Donald Sansom said he hopes the severity of the crime will not get lost in the mud.
Do away with and smile, because it's not a good time right now. You need to work it out. You know, this is a mistake, and you can come from this, but you've got to be the person that wants to. You've got to learn from your mistakes.
Fowler is being held on a $65,000 bond, facing several charges, including destruction of property, reckless driving, and assault on a school employee.
And more than gold, that is what platinum catalytic converters are worth. It only takes just a few minutes to remove them from cars, and Kyler Dunn and Dakota Baker are accused of stealing 13 of them between Stanton and Clay City in Powell County. So how did Stanton Police Department catch the suspects? Well, a common thread in their investigation, a white Chevy with black wheels.
Based on the timeline, we figured, you know, they're going to be local. They're not going to be somebody that just came through, stole something and left. So we started looking for that vehicle.
Police found most of the stolen items at an apartment complex. Dunn and Baker were arrested and charged with theft and receiving stolen property. Additional charges may be coming for the pair as more people could come forward.
A $1,000 reward is being offered in a dangerous case involving semi-trucks. The Breathitt County Sheriff's Office says someone or a group of people are throwing full soda cans at semi-trucks on Kentucky 15 near the Breath and Wolfe County line. Officials say they believe it is people working outside of eastern Kentucky because it is happening before most people wake up.
Ride share. You know, today this week they're driving one guy's car, so when this commercial vehicle struck, then it's a description of that person's vehicle. Next week, when a different truck or even the same truck is hit, they're in a different vehicle. I think that supports my working theory.
Anyone with information is asked to call the Breathitt County Sheriff's Department at 606-666-3805, extension 280.
And police in Laurel County say one man is behind bars after an unusual call. A fight inside a home was so intense, neighbors could hear it.
WYMT's Hannah Reynolds talked to officers that could not believe what they saw when they went inside the home.
Our deputies were called to a disturbance at a residence, supposedly a domestic, and it sounded like a fight going on inside the residence, according to the complaint.
Police say it all happened here on Parker Road and that struggle had to be very intense because it's very rare that a neighbor can hear someone choking next door. When police pulled up, they heard it too.
As they got closer to the door, they could hear gurgling sounds as if someone was being choked, and when they told him to stop what he was doing, he refused to, and they had to drag him off of the female victim and wrestle around with him.
This man, Daniel Ornsby, faces a brand new charge.
Where you place your hands around someone's neck and restrict the blood flow or the breathing, or if you put your hands over their nostrils or their mouth. The new law that was enacted last year is called strangulation, first degree or second degree.
Before that, it would have simply been a charge of assault in the 4th degree, a Class A misdemeanor. Now it's a felony, up to 10 years in prison.
It just helps us and it helps the victim. If someone gets charged with this, it definitely has to be a deterrent factor.
We called over to the Laurel County Jail and asked Hornsby for an interview, which he denied. In Laurel County, Hannah Reynolds, WYMT Mountain News.
Police tell us the victim refused treatment.
Coming up on 641, and the heaviest rain is now almost officially out of our region. Still going through parts of Wayne County and a little bit into parts of Martin and Pike counties, but most of it out. So we're going to see drier conditions as we head through the daytime hours. Visibility still pretty rough in some areas, so just be aware of that and slow it down. Be careful. Also wet roads and some ponding water this morning as well. Temperatures across the board, most of them in the 50s this morning. I think the coolest spots are Jonesville and Ashland there at 45. A lot of folks 50 or better this morning. Out the door forecast, the rain's going to end. We are going to see mostly cloudy skies, but there could be a peak or two of sunshine this afternoon if we get lucky. And 60 is our forecast high. Enjoy it because colder temperatures are on the way. Madison.
Thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning.
Here's a look at what's ahead. Coming up, after losing her husband last year, one Somerset woman made it her mission to find his car, and that search is now over.
And one school in Whitley County knew they were getting a donation, but were stunned when they saw just how much they were given. We'll show you how they plan to use the money.